Archbishop Hoban mock trial team won the state tournament a couple of weeks ago on March 8th, and they're kind enough to join us in studio this morning. And with me, first of all, we got a couple of members of the team. Is head coach Mike Capers, who has been their coach, for about 14 years, right, Mike?
That's correct. I'm actually one of 4 coaches. 3 others, Carol Tran of Hannah Campbell and Powell, and then Chris Parker and Kurt Weidendorf of Roger Glenn and Belvance are all also coaching with me. Yes.
So Mike, let's talk about, because often we hear about mock trials. But a lot of people on the outside looking in really don't know what this is unless you're involved with it as a coach, as a parent, as a school administrator and such. So talk about, and then we're going to talk to the ladies here in a second, talk about a mock trial team and what this all is.
Sure. So in mock trial, students take on the roles of attorneys and witnesses, and they take part in a court hearing in this case, which is a motion for a temporary injunction. It was an AI deepfake First Amendment case this year, and also an allegation of defamation.
And the students put this whole thing together. I mean, they come up with the trial, the witnesses, the evidence. Am I right there?
So each team is given what we call the problem, which is the outline of the case. And
nice.
Each student is bound by their statement, and so we use the rules of evidence and put on a case, in this case a hearing, for a temporary injunction, and everybody plays on the same field that way.
How many members are on the team, to say?
This particular team had 6 members who competed. We had 8 overall, and Hoban sent actually 3 teams to the state tournament this year.
Awesome, and this is great education leading, if they want a world in legal, law, presentation. There's so many benefits of this educationally.
Absolutely. Kids involved in mock trial can learn critical thinking skills, public speaking, performance under pressure, teamwork, some tears sometimes.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Well, we got a couple of members of the team also with us. Gabrielle Obhof is with us. And Gabrielle, talk a little bit about being a part of this team.
Well, being a part of this team has just been absolutely incredible. It's so much fun getting to read through all the case materials and put together what you're going to do for the season. So for this season, I was a witness, so I got to read a bunch of the witness statements and develop a character for my side.
So talk about the planning and the work that goes into that.
Well, there's a lot of work we put into it. We meet up twice a week on Sundays and on Wednesdays, and the coaches are just generous enough to give all of their time. We'll read through the statements and the case law at the beginning of the year, and then we'll use those materials to write up direct examination and cross-examination questions.
How did you get involved in a mock trial team? Is this something you've always wanted to do? Did you jump in not knowing, or talk a little bit about your background leading on to the team?
Well, my dad's a lawyer, so I got to hear a lot about mock trial when I came to Hoban, and I was told that this is a team that I might be interested in. And it was my junior year when I ended up joining the team, and it was thanks to Mr. Top, actually one of my teachers, who convinced me to join, and I'm so glad that I did, because it's been an incredible experience.
Now, you're a senior in school, right, Gabrielle?
That's correct.
So this experience with this, do you have planned for the next level of education? Is this something, maybe you want to be an attorney or something? Does this lend support to that?
I'm not planning to go into law, but I am planning to join a college mock trial team. And I think all of the rhetoric and critical thinking skills that I've gathered from mock trial will be very helpful for me in college.
Excellent. Another member of the team with us is Cassidy Wren. And Cassidy, I guess, talk about how you got involved with the team.
Well, I had a bit of a similar experience. Same teacher, Mr. Top, kind of started convincing me at the beginning of my sophomore year to join the team. He is our school advisor and really our major recruiter, gets all the best students on the team. So he scouts around, sees people who he thinks can put in the work, have good public speaking skills, have the good dedication that is necessary for this team, and he attempts to convince us, and he eventually did get me on board. So I joined my sophomore year, had a bit of a rough patch, and then came back junior year.
So what did you learn most in the last, 3 years of being a part of this team?
I would say the biggest thing I learned was honestly dedication. It's putting everything you have into it, no matter what's happening, no matter the struggles or the bumps in the road. We had a lot of twists and turns this season. some major ups and downs, but it's the dedication of constantly going back to what you know, putting in the work, taking the time, working with your teammates and your coaches. And that kind of skill is what I plan to take with me for the rest of my life.
So, take it to the next step that Mike was talking about. You win a state title, so congratulations. So that had to be awesome. But is it judged per points? How are you selected as a state champion?
So the way it works is we usually have 2 to 3 judges on a panel for each trial. One side, either plaintiff or defense of each team, will go against a different team's opposite side. We compete, and then we are scored on things like opening statement, closing statement, cross, direct, witness performance on each of those out of 10. And then the team with the higher score wins that trial. So then as the tournament goes on, there are more and more teams that are knocked out for losing their trial. And in the end, you have a panel of 5 judges that will select a winner.
Do you have the same trial throughout the process?
Yes, it's the exact same case, but you have to continue to develop it, take your own spin on it, find different objections to use, and things like that.
What was your role in the case?
I was the closing attorney on the defense side.
So you got to do the closing remarks defense, huh?
Yes.
Is this something you would like to take these skills in the future? What are your plans?
I plan on majoring in biomedical engineering, but I do, as just like Gabrielle, I plan on joining a college mock trial team. And if for whatever reason my major were to not work out for me, I would absolutely go and start a pre-law track, because I really do love this. The whole process, the whole legal process is so interesting.
That's what my wife's major was in college, by the way, and you can do a lot with that if you ever want to know. Mike, step back on in here to the mic. So talk about the fun you had with this team leading to the state championship.
It's always a journey every year. We get a fresh group of kids, and we have to incorporate them into our process, and it can be very grueling, as the girls have said. We demand a lot, but we also get a lot from them. We've been to the state tournament, 26 times since it started in 1984, runner-up and state champion 2011 and 2012, and then again 24 and 25. So a lot of hard work, but also some success to go with that.
I don't know if the proper word is season, but is it season? Okay, so the season goes from when to when? Obviously, it concludes in the month of March.
Where do we get the problem, ladies? Was it in September? September, October, and then it concluded if you make the final trial at the end of March. Yes.
So that's a 5-month dedication with a lot of work, a lot of after school. Now, if there's parents or other people listening and maybe going into Hoban next year, how do you pick the team? Is there tryouts? Can anybody be part of the team? How does that shake out?
Yes, anyone can be part of the team. There is a tryout process. They prepare opening statements or witness statements, and they come perform in front of a panel of about 8 or 10 of us who score them and put them on the team where we think they'll fit best. Yeah, it's an interesting process. It can be a little daunting, but it's worth all the hard work.
And it sounds like it's a huge educational push as well. Ladies, congratulations. Thanks for getting up and coming on in here this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
More than welcome. Mike, thanks for bringing them on in, and you folks as well. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having us, Ray.
Most certainly. There you go. The state champion Archbishop Hoban mock trial team live in our studio with us this morning here on 93.5, 1590 WAKR. Let's get you updated on traffic again.